Hello everybody, welcome to Alakai's Dicemaster discussion. Today we're going to go over some of the calendar, the release dates for some of the upcoming Dicemasters releases, things like the Yu-Gi-Oh!, the D&D, and the DC. We're also going to go into some of the newly discovered information as people have kind of been taking a look at the photos that have been released to the public, and people are speculating a lot on the stuff that's going to be included in some of the new releases. So, that right introduction, let's get right to it. First of all, what I did was I went ahead and took the dates off of coolstuffinc.com and I mapped it onto a little calendar. Something that's really been, I won't say bothering me, but concerning me is that some of these dates are very close together. As we are getting familiar with WizKids, we're seeing that some of these dates are being pushed out. I have heard a lot of rumors concerning things like the Star Trek Attack Wing and the Dungeons and Dragons Attack Wing. I know that their dates are kind of, we'll say, loose, and this is the information we have, and I'm highly doubting that it's going to go as planned, but let's take a look. So first up, we have already received our cool Uncanny X-Men release. Loving playing it. It's really been fun. The next scheduled release is to be Yu-Gi-Oh! And January 28th was the last piece of information we actually got. The thing is with Yu-Gi-Oh! Dicemasters that I have yet to see any cards, dice, any releases or information about Yu-Gi-Oh! So I'm not sure what is going on with it. Maybe it's going to be like a sudden release thing. But January 28th is just a few weeks away from the time of this recording. And I have a feeling, a sneaky suspicion, that's actually being pushed out. Next release, February 11th, which is really only 2 weeks after the release of Yu-Gi-Oh! Its scheduled release for February 11th is Dungeons and Dragons Dicemasters. Once again, haven't seen too much about D&D Dicemasters being released to the public. Haven't seen any spoilers for it. But that is the latest information we have. Following Dungeons and Dragons, March 18th is a date that's should be very familiar for people who are kind of taking a look at this stuff. Is DC Dicemasters. Now that date I'm a little more comfortable with, only because we've been seeing a lot of discussion about DC. We've been seeing it on some of the forums, things like Reddit, and on the Facebook, and on some of the websites. People are looking at magazine articles that have been released, and it seems to be that March timeframe is enough time for people to kind of get used to Uncanny X-Men and ready for the next set. DC Dicemasters is also confirmed on the WizKids site as well as a release. So I think that with that kind of confirmation, feels like it's a little bit more firm. Additionally, one other point is that WizKids also has confirmed 128 Yu-Gi-Oh! Dicemasters, but the D&D Dicemasters simply says moved to spring 2015. But I did get the information off of Cool Stuff Inc., who still has February 11th for that. Next one is going to be Marvel Dicemasters Age of Ultron. Date for that is May 6th. So May 6th we're seeing the next release of another Marvel set. And once again, we're not sure about that one because WizKids themselves have it posted as being just spring of 2015. So we're not sure when that's going to come out. But DC and Yu-Gi-Oh! Both are confirmed on WizKids, and those dates have not wavered from Cool Stuff Inc. So, yeah, so with any luck at all, they're going to stick to those dates, and we're going to see some new and cool releases of sets for us to play with and incorporate into our existing sets, Uncanny and Avengers. So, with that being said, what we've seen just come up in the last couple weeks, and we've got some speculations on some cards that were released, but a lot of information is being taken out of the January edition of Game Trade magazine. We've had a lot of websites and Reddit posts related to them One thing that we have seen that seems to be pretty confirmed is the super rares that we're expecting. So what we're hoping for this time is that the super rares are take a little bit more active role in some of our decks and play a little bit more unique or intriguing game effects. I found Uncanny X-Men's super rares to not really do too much. They're kind of relatively ineffective, and I'm really hoping that DC kind of solves some of that. But anyways, let's get to it. So the first thing we have is Constantine. We've seen him before. He showed up in the magazine article a little bit ago. We even have a picture for him. The three others are Black Canary, Catwoman, and the Flash. There's a blurb about it in the magazine article itself. It says here, Constantine Hellblazer is a great foil to any opponent who has one focus on winning. They'll be forced to play around him all game. When the Flash is by himself, he can't be blocked. Catwoman uses your opponent's strongest dice against them, kind of like the Mystica. And then the Black Canary will clear away your opponent's potential blockers. Seems like she's got a global effect, kind of similar to Hulk Green Goliath. Really, those seem to be pretty well confirmed. We've got some other cards that are released, but really have some doubts about them being actually real or not. In fact, I'm more inclined to say they're not real at this point than real, but I'm going to go ahead and show them anyways, just because it's kind of out there and it's of interest. It's interesting. But along with the information we had released, we see a big pile of dice kind of just thrown in one of the pictures there in the magazine. And the people at the reserve pool, who are great, it's a great podcast, really wonderful, well laid out website. They've actually gone through and identified a lot of the dice, a lot of different icons. I know there's a woman on the show named Katie who's very much into comics, and they seem to really be in tune with the universe of comics. So thanks to them, there is a large list of heroes that we're going to be able to play with. I'm not going to read them all. I'm going to list the website there at the bottom in the notes section here, but some of the people we're looking at are like Flash and Wonder Woman, like we mentioned before. Some people like Blue Beetle, Black Canary, Zatanna, maybe even Sinestro. Somebody I'm really looking forward to are people like Spectre and Harley Quinn. We've got, like we said before, Constantine with Aquaman, Zod, maybe. Who knows? Brainiac, Starman, Katana. Like I said, there's a ton of different people there that they've gone ahead and listed, and they've associated with the icons of the dice. So, looks exciting. Looks really informative, and they've done a great job. They've also got a little quote from the magazine article, and what they're going through is the actual OP, or the organized play information. So what's going to happen with that is going to be 5 months of exciting in-store battles with Trinity War storyline organized play. See these heroes and villains in brand new ways, and in the final month, the grand prize will feature a villain never before seen in DC Comics Dicemasters. So looking forward to it. I'm not familiar with the storyline at all, but hey, this is it's new stuff for everybody, I guess. So can't wait, guys. Hopefully it helps, and take care. If you have any comments, go ahead and leave them below. Please like and subscribe. Thank you.